we're here at Big 5G event in Austin, Texas. I'm Phil Harvey, and joining me right now is Berge Ayvazian from Wireless 2020, an industry analyst, consultant, and a man about town for decades in this industry, right?
Hopefully you didn't see me downtown last night.
No, no, a man about town. So
Yeah, that's right.
You're just easy to find, I think.
It is.
the event.
That's true.
Thanks for making some time for us. Thanks for being at the show. I do want to talk about fiber access and whether that's the cure-all for the digital divide. It's a big topic. There's billions of dollars that are being deployed to answer that question in part. What work are you doing on the subject, and what are your findings so far?
So, we're a company called Wireless 2020. So we tend to have a perception, at least, that we have a focus on the wireless side. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, we're really broadband centric. And everybody's objective is to bring broadband to the locations and to the customers that currently are either unserved or underserved. Mm-hmm. And whether we're going to be using government subsidies to get there, or we're investing capital from large companies or small companies for that matter, the question really becomes, what's the best technology solution? How do you do it cost effectively so that as much as you want to leverage the benefits of the technology and perhaps make it long-term sustainable in terms of its capabilities, you also don't want to overspend to reach certain customers and then end up with no money to reach the others.
Right.
So when you're allocating a finite resource, you have to really understand the cost characteristics of delivering that service. Unfortunately, when the government makes programs like BEAD, mm-hmm. They tend to base it on quantitative measures that are very simple. How many?
Right.
How many served? How many unserved? How many underserved? And when you think about why are locations unserved, well, because they're remote, because they're not near an existing network.
Not connected to fiber.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And if it's going to be connected to fiber and all the way to the location, all the way to the customer, then you're going to end up running up a huge cost,
right.
Particularly in these not only remote but difficult to reach locations. So, these people live there for a reason.
Right.
They want to be off the grid, basically.
Right.
But at the same time, they want connectivity, and connectivity is an essential service. Not only did we learn that through COVID, mm-hmm. but we also learned that through this new connected lifestyle we have. Mm-hmm. Some people call it the metaverse, but my point being that we built a platform. We've spent our careers in the connectivity business. Mm-hmm. And as much as we helped operators get CBRS, spectrum, work through auctions,
right.
Build their mobile networks, we are now working to help operators make decisions about how to allocate capital, how to pursue grants, and how to win grant money for subsidies, and what technology is the right decision, right choice mm-hmm. To reach these customers. So when you look at the big picture of the unserved and underserved, we know the numbers.
Right.
What we don't know is where they are.
Right.
And although we do get the FCC data about the locations, they don't build into it any cost analysis to how to reach these customers.
Yeah, that's a great point, because an unconnected person or a underconnected person, in a given service provider's service area, that they might be the same distance from the carrier facilities, but they might cost vastly different amounts of money to reach each one. And so I think what you're saying is, you're helping these carriers sort of optimally look at a real cost analysis of what does it actually take to get fiber to this person? What does it actually take to get fixed wireless or some other kind of connectivity?
On the other hand, these operators and even the grant officials can't spend the time and money necessary to actually do the engineering work.
Right. Yeah.
What they need is tools that allow them to approximate that cost and to simulate what it's going to take to build networks to reach these customers and do it very quickly. The
Okay.
decision-making process requires very, very thorough but very quick response from these tools. So we've always had a portfolio of YROI, wireless ROI tools that are designed to help build business cases. Now we've built a whole front end on top of the YROI platform that basically allows us to have a geographic information system using the FCC fabric, but at the same time augmented with our analytics, all the other layers of data that we've been able to assemble. We call it YROI DB.
Okay.
We're on the release 2.1 of YROI DB. We're going to do release 3 later this year. But in the end, what it allows you to do is to be able to see when you have unserved and underserved, what technology options do you have? Where's the nearest fiber?
Okay.
And not just your own fiber, although that can be a bias for the operator.
Sure.
But where can they be reaching fiber that would allow you to build to that location? And even to the extent that the government would prefer fiber to the location, FTTL, as a solution, they need to be able to look at how much of the total budget of the BEAD program, or for that matter, the capital budget of these companies, would be allocated to delivering fiber to the location to every unserved or every underserved, versus realizing that if we spread the peanut butter a little thinner or a little differently, we'd end up reaching many more households, many more customers, and doing it more cost effectively. So our tool is really designed to do that. We just published a white paper that looks at the technologies, not only from a cost perspective, but we use a Steiner model that allows you to actually plot the distance on streets, whether it's aerial or underground, for building fiber networks.
Okay.
And in remote locations, there may not be roads, much less aerial and underground.
Right.
So, you know, you really need to have built into the planning system something that drives you to really understand the costs and the benefits of each technology. So what we're looking at are operators that don't have a one-size-fits-all approach. That they realize that, yes, I may have actually even one spectrum in a CBRS auction, but wireless is not the best solution for everything. Actually, many states now are moving the standard up to 100 megabits per second, and that drives you beyond the capabilities of many of the wireless solutions. But at the same time, they want something that allows them to reach the remote areas, the least served customers, that they can bring the broadband service to most cost effectively. So we've now been working with about 20 operators to fine-tune this platform and to make it available now when the BEAD grants are going to start coming to roost starting in June.
Okay.
And already the states are engaged in setting their own standards to some degree. And they need the ability to understand both the costs and the technical challenges of delivering broadband to these customers.
All right. Well, time is always of the essence, not just in the BEAD rollout, not just in broadband deployment, but here on this show floor where we're going to get run off pretty quick with people tearing down booths and stuff. Berge, thanks so much for taking a few moments for this.
No problem, Phil. I know Light Reading's already written about the white paper, and it's probably available as a click on.
We'll link to it in the show notes.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Time.
Thanks.